Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be talking about Heaven Burns Red. Yes, I have been continuing to play this game and I thought I had to make this video because I've been thoroughly impressed by this gacha game. And obviously I had high expectations because it was a work of Jun Maeda. But I think my expectations were actually surpassed. Like really, I've completed chapter 3. I've barely started chapter 4. I think I'm in like third day of chapter 4, or was it the fourth day, something like that. And for more context, for people who have played the game and who knows what's going on, I'm in that particular part, and what I have experienced up until now has been absolutely amazing. Like it gets better and better, this game. So like I just want to talk about this because I feel like this is heavily underrated. I guess it's barely, the global version has barely even started. Like the JP version is, it's quite popular in Japan, I think. But the global version, which has very recently come out, I think it is still heavily underappreciated, heavily underrated. Comparing it to a lot of the other new games that have come out, like Girls Frontline 2, a few of the others that we see. Like I think this gacha game deserves every bit of like popularity that other games are also getting, and even more. I think this deserves it. That's how much I am loving this game. Now I guess it will depend based on people to people, because I'm the type of person who appreciates more of a better story, like a better full-fledged story, than like action, or like I love my action bits, and I love my like a lot of crazy battles and stuff. I do like them. I do like some thriller, like plot and stuff like that. But I also appreciate, and I heavily appreciate, these type of drama type storytelling, which Jun Maeda does perfectly. If you've seen Clannad and Angel Beast and the other stuff that he has done, um, you'll know what I'm trying to say. So maybe because of that, I'm a little bit biased towards this, but I feel like any type of person who would give this game a try and who actually appreciates a good story would, I can guarantee you, you would going to love it. You're going to love it because it is so damn well written. Now, like I said, I've completed chapter up until chapter 3. I've barely started chapter 4. Now, I've decided, because I'm loving this game so much, I've decided to, obviously I won't be able to do the gameplay, because there's a few reasons for that. First and foremost, there's a lot of songs, like it's like filled in this story, like a lot of like songs which are actually protected, copyright protected. So like I think it's kind of impossible to play the game without those songs, and the songs make a integral part of the experience in itself. So I don't want to deprive myself of that, or anyone else who's watching that. So I've decided not to really do the gameplay, because if I do that with the songs in it, half of the time it's the video's going to get blocked. It won't matter. And I also have the fear of getting copyright like striked, so I don't want to take that risk. That's number one. Number two, which is I think like another big reason, is that the main story is actually so long that I think it'll be difficult for myself to actually play the game with all the other stuff that I do. Play the game and do like a gameplay video of it. It's huge. Like it takes me like each and every chapter is like 20 to 30 days. Like I think 20 days. I think like the previous chapter was like 20 to 24 days, and each day is like at least 30 to 45 minutes. So it's huge. Like each and every chapter is huge, and I think it is impossible to like properly do a gameplay for this. I just want to experience this on my own, you know. But I have decided, since I like it so much, after every chapter I complete, I'm gonna make like a little review video like this. So today, I'm singing praise of the game, obviously, but at the same time, I'm also going to give my impressions of the first 3 chapters, which I've completed, which I'm going to do a little bit later. But first, let me, talk a little bit more about this as a whole. So Like I said, if you love a good story, if you love, like, like Junmaida type story, like, Clannad and other stuff, if you've seen those and have enjoyed those, and you want to, like, like you're not opposed to playing a gacha game, you can, try this out, because this is mainly a story. Like, there is gameplay obviously, but I feel like the gameplay is like, you can, like, do a lot of things with the gameplay, and you can, like, do a lot of the things, get a lot of the characters and all that, but that is not really the main focus. Like, the main focus is obviously the story, and the story is crazy good. Like, it's amazing, and like, it's a well fleshed out story. Like I said, like, there's like 20 to 25 days for each chapter, and each day complete it, at least it takes like 30, I guess. 30 minutes is a bit too long, maybe 20 minutes at least to complete like a day. Yeah. So that means, like, each chapter is at least quite a few hours long, like at least 6 to 7 hours, more than that maybe, it takes to complete each chapter. And that means a well written story, a well structured story, a well fleshed out story. Also, the fact that you're going through time, like, like one day, like, the first day, second day, third day, you're literally seeing the whole thing, where the characters are going, what they're doing, this and that. It makes you feel part of the story, and it gives you like a very, like, complete experience. Like, you're literally seeing what the characters are doing each and every moment. That's how well it has been written, and it has been, like, structured. So, it's a great experience. The main story is absolutely amazing. Like I said, it's emotional. It's Junmaida's story. It's very emotional. The first three chapters were absolutely fantastic. And at the end of each chapter, oh my god, it goes crazy. The the floodgates open from your eyes, and it starts, the tear starts dropping. It's just, good god. Like, it's like, if you've seen Clannad, just think about it. Like, each and every chapter, ending of a chapter, is like one of those most emotional parts of Clannad. It hits you like that, and good lord, it is just, it's devastating sometimes. I'm like, yeah. But oh my god, yeah, it's a crazy experience. Yeah, so that is basically the story. I just want more people to know about this and give this a try, because yeah, it'll be well worth it. Because I think I'm not going to stop playing this game. I'm going to keep playing this game up until the very end. Like, this Heaven Burns Red has been, like, I have a few games that I play that are staple for me, and that I know that I'm never going to stop playing unless and until that game itself stops. For example, Fate Grand Order, Honkai Star Rail. These, like, games are the games that I'm never going to give up on. You know, yeah, I've decided to include Heaven Burns Red in that as well. At least for the story, I'm going to keep going, because I am thoroughly invested in the story, like, extreme, to an extreme degree. And the fact that they were able to do this in merely 3 chapters is astonishing. Like, like, I was able to get this invested. That's how well written it is. Like, this is genuinely a masterpiece. And it's barely the start. Like, I'm sure there's, like, a lot to come. Right. So yeah. Another thing I just wanted to talk about is the characters. Like, each and every character is just so well written. I just cannot believe it. Like, it is absolutely fantastic. The main character that you play with, as a main protagonist, is a bundle of joy. She's like one of the most, like, one of the, I would say, one of the better main characters in a gacha game. Like, one of not even the better, one of the best characters in a gacha game. Like, her personality and everything just makes the game so much more enjoyable. And obviously, her dynamic with one particular character in the story, Yuki, is what is, I just, it's so good. I absolutely love it. Their character dynamics, their chemistry is through the roof. And, like, it's just, I just love the whole thing. It's just, like, the characters make it so enjoyable, especially, these two, like, Ruka and Yuki. These two are just absolutely amazing. I just love them throughout the whole story. Whenever they interact, I'm just, like, grinning and smiling. Fantastic story, fantastic characters, absolutely amazing. Yeah, like, yeah. What can I say? I just want to say that yeah, this has been an amazing experience. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to like it this much. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, enough about that. Now, what I wanted to do is, like I said, I'm going to just talk about the first three chapters. Obviously, incoming spoilers. If you haven't played the first three chapters and if you want to avoid the spoilers, do not watch this section. So yeah, just wanted to say that. So the first three chapters, I think I talked briefly about the first chapter on the very first on the previous video that I made about this game, where I just talked about a lot of the other stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about it briefly. The first chapter was obviously the introduction to it. So, like, I was new to everyone. It just put all the characters that are in the game. They kind of introduce us to them little by little. We get to know one or two squads a little bit more personally in the first, chapter. Bungo squad, what's her name? Waki. What's Waki's original name? I forgot her original name because Ruka always calls her by her nickname Waki. That's all. That's just in my head. So I think they were they class C or were they class B? Again, I cannot remember. I still have to get used to the characters. There's so many of them that I'm kind of mixing everything up. But we get to know them more, and I kind of said this in that previous video, that in the ending part there was a section where you have to make a choice, and if you pick the wrong choice, it gets a bad ending, and Bungo dies. So you need to avoid the choice, and then everything goes well. That gave me a false sense of security, and I was like, oh, so next chapter will probably have a choice like this as well, where you're going to, if you pick the correct one, everything will be okay. Yeah, like I said, it gave me a false sense of security because that's how the first chapter ended. And I was like, yeah, this is very sad, obviously, because the whole situation with Bunga is obviously very sad. The whole, like her forgetting everything and all that stuff. But I was like, okay, like, thank God it's like not like any character like died like actually in the story. You can change it, you can change the outcome. And oh my God, chapter 2 and chapter 3 completely destroyed that theory of mine, and now I'm like, okay, anything can happen in this story. So like, chapter 1 was good, but then chapter 2 comes where we get to meet Aoi and her group, her class. And with all the stuff that happened in the end, with what happened to Aoi, that is when it struck me, and I realized that, oh no, there won't be choices like this. The first chapter was probably an exception. There won't be any choices like this. Stuff are going to happen, and it's going to happen. You cannot change it. Probably for the most time. Maybe another somewhere down the line. Maybe another choice will come, which will help you make different choice and change the outcome. But it'll be a rarity. It won't be that, oh, every single chapter will have a choice which will let you kind of dodge the sad part. Nope, that's not the case at all. So yeah, chapter 2 made me realize that. And the whole thing with Aoi was absolutely devastating. Obviously, then the whole situation, the mystery part of the story comes out, which is the whole situation with the Narbis. And yeah, and also the fact that like each chapter, like, ends, and they have like a little extra part of it which gets unlocked in the event. Aoi's had that as well, where we got to see what she was doing when she was not interacting. Obviously, we're following Ruka's perspective. So when that was not happening, what Aoi was doing, all the other stuff we kind of see, which obviously it's like putting salt on the wound, literally, exactly, like, after the whole situation with Aoi, after Aoi is dead. It's like putting salt on your wound, like, oh, here you go, like, see more what the character did while you were not following her. And and it's basically that, like, yeah, it's like kicking while you're down. You're already like sad about the whole situation, and they give you more stuff to uh like, yeah, I just, yeah, anyways. So that happens, and it was obviously very sad and everything, but I would say like third chapter was probably my most favorite one, because I just don't know. Like a lot of things happens there. Like I said, the whole mystery part, and the whole yeah, mystery section of this whole story. Like this story is like a, I guess you could say, like a very emotional one. But there's a mysterious thing going on as well in the background about the who the characters are, what's up with the Narbis and all that. That gets heavily, like, shown. Obviously, we got to see the whole situation with Aoi, where in the end the Narbi was like Aoi. We got to know that, but they didn't really give us any answers in chapter 2. Chapter 3 is where we start breaching that, and that is why I feel like chapter 3 was my most favorite chapter still now. I'm guessing it will change, maybe probably later on. um but because, like, we get a lot of answers there, or we get a lot of things that gets explained. For example, we are confirmed now in third chapter is that the Nardis are the people that we are seeing, the students, and the ones that are fighting. But still, even at the end of chapter 3, they don't really give us any answers properly. The beginning of chapter 4 gives us all the answers, which I'm currently at, so I do know what's the situation with the Nardis and everything. I do know about it. However, chapter 3, not only did it bring that up, it brought out Sukasa's, Tojo Sukasa's, her original personality. That part, that was also very interesting. Not only that, the whole situation with Kura and Mona, those that dynamic, that whole story was also very emotional, I guess you could say. Like, obviously, it was very sad. Like it was, I think chapter 3 was 24 to 25 days, and little by little they build up the relationship. The whole thing with Ruka, trying to ask Mona for help, and them making like an alliance, going to the Aegis Tower, that whole plan. While Kura was like, no, I don't want to let her go there, she might die, so she makes this whole plan to make Yuki and Ruka have a fight so that Ruka doesn't go there, but Ruka still stands her ground. That whole part, they kind of make it in the beginning, make it show, like, made it like, oh, like everyone who was watching that, it probably made them feel not really, sorry, everyone who was playing the game, they probably didn't like Kura at the beginning, or her whole nagging, like, like thing. But little by little, as we get to know the more story and the situation, and obviously the ending, it was just devastating seeing what happened in the end. And, like, I don't know, like, what to say is that I feel like Aoi's death was sad, but Kura's death was even more sadder because she got pierced by Mona. Like, that was the saddest part. Like, because the thing is that there's a, what can I say? There's a thought in that where you think like, oh, if Mona didn't go completely crazy, or like, like that whole power, like, adrenaline rush that got to her, if she was able to control that, then we could have avoided it. It's not even the enemy that got her, it's Mona. And that part is what makes this even more devastating and more sadder, because for Aoi's, at least you can say that, oh, she protected us all, she gave her life for something. What about this though? Like, yeah, she did stop Mona, but still, it's just, it's just such a weird type of feeling after getting to see what happened in the end. But I guess that's what makes this so good, that dilemma, that, oh, maybe we could have changed this, that kind of thing. um but yeah, I just, like, chapter 3 was sad, like sad as hell, especially the end. And also the fact that it built up for so long, like the whole, like, change in relationship, the building up of the whole situation, it was done so thoroughly and so well. that it hit more hard at the end where we saw what happened. And yeah, so I would say for now that chapter 3 is my most favorite. I've played up until chapter 3. So chapter 3 is my most favorite up, like, till now. Then chapter 2, then chapter 1. Like, I would say for now chapter 1 is probably the weakest, but it's barely the beginning, so it makes sense. Obviously, you need to get the characters introduced and everything. You need to, like, little by little go, higher up. But chapter 3 was fantastic. Chapter 2 was good. Chapter 1 was okay. And from the way this is going, I'm assuming that chapter 4 will be better than chapter 3. But then again, I might be wrong. I guess we'll have to find out. But like I said, I've played like 3 days. I'm 4 days in chapter 4. So I do know about the explanation of the Narbis, what's going on. Like, Commander Tezuka told us everything. We got to know what's going on with the Narbi, the whole Narbi human, like, that whole thing. All of those things I know. So yeah, like, I guess all that's left to do now is wait and watch and see where the whole story proceeds. So yeah, at the end of chapter 4, I'm going to make another video like this and talk about it. But yeah, I just wanted to share my, like, impressions and what I thought about these 3 chapters, like how it is so, like, how it affects us so much, like what's happening in the story is, yeah, they've done a great job of building these characters, like fleshing them out properly, and just making them, like, making us so attached to them in just a mere few moments of time. And it's just Kura and Mona's situation is the saddest for me, at least up until now. Yeah. And then, oh, like I said, after every ending they give like an extra scenario, and they gave Kura's scenario where we got to see what happened when she got pierced, and all her thoughts and everything as an army and everything. That was sad as hell. Like, we literally go back the days and we see the gradual disintegration of Kura's memories. At first she could recognize everyone, then little by little, as time went on and on and on, she just forgot everyone, every single one, and by the end of it, everything was a blur. That was sad. So yeah, there you go. So there you go. That was my little review and my impressions on these 3 chapters. When I complete chapter 4, I'll make another video like this, and I'll be able to make a better, like, video, because I could talk about it a little bit with a little bit more time and a little bit more. Yeah, I just like rushed through these 3 sections, but I just brought out the points that I really liked, and like how these 3 chapters, how much I liked them. Anyways, so yeah, there you go. That is it, guys. I'm going to end it here. I just wanted to talk about this because I feel like I, like, I don't know. I really love these type of story, and the fact that, like, this type of story in a gacha game exists. I feel like a lot of people will be missing out on this just because it's a gacha game, and most people who don't really play gacha games don't have a good impression of gacha games, so they might just completely skip this. But even if you don't like gacha games, just try to ignore the gacha part. Play it for the story. You won't regret it. Especially if you are a Jun Maeda fan. If you've watched Clannad, if you've watched Angel Beats, and if you love them, yeah, you can just give it a try, and just ignore the gacha part. Like, you can go through the, like, the battles and everything. You can do that with the free characters that they give you. This game gives us a lot of free characters. That is one thing I've seen. Like, literally every patch they give you like an SS character. You have to, like, log in for 10 days, and they give you a ticket to get an SS character. You can get one automatically, and with those you can make do. You don't have to be like a crazy, like, like a whale or something to play the gacha part of this game. That is not the point of this game, from what I have seen. Yeah, you can do that if you want to. That's your, that's your free will. But they just give you stuff here and there, and with using those, you can just play through the story. If your main concern is playing through the story battles, I'm sure you can easily do that with the free characters that they give you. It's easily doable. So yeah, so I just want something that I wanted to share with you guys, and because this is something that has that I'm liking so much, I thought I had to make another video, and I'll make more videos on this as well in the future. So that is it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to end it here. Thank you for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. So that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.